Hey guys, Quantum Videos here. Want to thank all my subscribers. Still looking to get up that 165 mark. Anyways, just want to thank everyone for tuning into this video. A lot happening in Goblin Slayer recently. The Demon Lord was actually defeated. So that's the end of that background story going on. The hero was raised to Platinum rank adventure, which apparently there's only been 10 of in history. So the title of this episode is appropriately named Dozing because after that big adventure in Watertown where a bunch of them almost died, they're basically just lollygagging around the area. Goblin Slayer's at his farm, and here he's actually starting out this episode with him telling a story about his sister and how she fed him this really good stew and how he hasn't had it since because he just can't remember what it tastes like. And she ends up telling him that if you're selfish and stuff like that, people who are like that end up turning into goblins and stuff. And of course, it seems like he learned a lot of his wisdom from his sister, and it just goes to show how much he misses her that he kills all those goblins. It's crazy the depths of his obsession with goblins and how they relate to the death of his sister. Anyways, here he is checking the rounds at his farm they lives at with his almost girlfriend. I'm thinking, it's quite a harem here. He's pretty much, I don't know, he can go any way with these girls. So, this is a beautiful farm. He's setting up those round fence walls. I'm kind of wondering if he isn't doing something defensive with this farm because it's really odd pattern. So I'm just wondering if all those rocks surrounding the house are going to come into play in some kind of battle in the future episodes. So obviously here we see a bunch of his armor is heavily damaged from his battles in the sewers of Watertown, where it was actually revealed that the Sword Maiden was behind a bunch of the brutal killings and slayings in the town, because goblins don't actually slaughter people and leave their bodies. They take them back like alive and toy with them and stuff like that, like they did with the Shrine Maiden. And actually in this episode, Shrine Maiden ends up sending a letter to Goblin Slayer thanking him for everything he did for her and saying that she no longer has dreams that plague her about goblins. So basically, in this episode, we're just dealing with a lot of, catch up, people just kind of taking a break, resting. Goblin Slayer's obviously here with his other spare set of armor that just got repaired. We're looking at these adventures here that were featured in an earlier episode being taught by these more powerful adventurers. I'd say they're at least silver rank. Basically being taught how to fight because it's explained that if you know how to fight or at least learn some swordsmanship, you stand a better chance of defeating enemies and staying alive. And here we have the hero, all ironically girls. They're basically in the capital city of this area. I don't think they ever named what the kingdom is called, but they're basically just celebrating defeating the Demon Lord. And here we basically have the party of adventurers and a lot of the Goblin Slayers, harem, basically following them around. They go out to eat, and then, so at this point, we get the High Elf and the Goblin, the Dwarf. They end up getting a drinking contest during one of their times in the tavern here. And of course, the dwarf wins, but a lot of people are actually placing bets on the elf, saying she's really stubborn and she could win, but she's such a lightweight, there's no way. So basically, at the end of this episode, how the Goblin Slayer always does those checks on his farm? Well, he discovers the presence of goblins. So I'm thinking that the final few episodes of this 12 to 13 episode anime run are probably going to be with him dealing with probably the death of several of his friends, possibly. Maybe his mentor, the one that trained him, is possibly going to be involved in these goblins. Because he did look kind of goblin-y, or kind of like weird at least. And I'm thinking that he's going to be dealing with asking some other adventurers for help with dealing with these goblins. So anyways, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe, click on the bell icon if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. Thank you everyone for subscribing, and please tune in to my next video about the chapter 13. It's some interesting stuff going on. Anyways, have a great day, everyone.